The 2025 MotoGP season was full of drama and surprises. On the one hand, Ducati was enjoying a golden era with Marc Marquez. However, the star's absence due to injury at the Indonesian Grand Prix raised major questions within the Borgo Panigale camp. The climax came at the Australian Grand Prix, when Aprilia delivered a stunning performance led by Marco Bezzecchi, a direct disciple of Valentino Rossi. Rumours then began to swirl. Was Valentino Rossi behind Aprilia's resurgence? Let's discuss it. Since the start of the season, Ducati seemed virtually untouchable. Marc Marquez, newly promoted to the factory team, performed ferociously, achieving podium after podium and leading the standings by a significant margin. Analysts believed that Marquez's presence boosted Ducati's performance and was a major factor in their dominance. However, everything changed at the Indonesian Grand Prix. In a pressure-packed race, Marquez crashed heavily at the fast Mandalika corner. He was diagnosed with a serious right shoulder injury, including a bone fracture and ligament damage. This forced him to miss 2 crucial races in Indonesia, Australia, and Malaysia. Without Marquez, Ducati seemed lost. Francesco Bagnaia underperformed, and test rider Michele Pirro could not keep up with the race pace. Compared to Marquez's average during his time in MotoGP, data showed a performance drop of almost 0.6 seconds per lap. This is a significant difference at the MotoGP level. While Ducati struggled, Aprilia caught up. Their resurgence was evident in the Australian GP sprint race. Marco Bezzecchi, who now rides for the Aprilia factory team, delivered an impressive performance. Starting from the middle of the pack, he surged to the lead and passed his teammate Raul Fernandez 3 laps before the finish line. Bezzecchi closed out the race with a spectacular victory, with Fernandez in second and KTM's Pedro Acosta in third. This historic 1-2 victory for Aprilia was a powerful statement. We are serious contenders, not just sidekicks. The Aprilia boss was seen shedding tears in the pit lane, not only because of the victory, but also because of its symbolic meaning. Aprilia, which had long been in Ducati's shadow, was finally on equal footing. Bezzecchi is known as one of Valentino Rossi's best students from the VR46 Academy. He was raised with Rossi's racing philosophy of daring to take risks, staying calm under pressure, and pushing the limits of a bike's capabilities. Now, with his success in bringing Aprilia to the top of the podium in Marquez's absence, many have begun to speculate, including within Ducati. Several sources in the paddock revealed that Ducati boss Gigi Dall'Igna suspects Valentino Rossi's hidden influence behind Bezzecchi and Aprilia's resurgence. Rossi may not be directly involved with Aprilia, but traces of his philosophy are evident in Bezzecchi's and the team's approach. There's a strategic maturity and an aggressive, yet controlled style that's very typical of Rossi, a Ducati technician told Italian media anonymously. Not only did Marquez's injury mean the loss of the fastest rider on the track, it also meant the loss of a spiritual leader in the Ducati garage. Since his absence, communication between Bagnaia and the technicians has often sounded strained over the radio. Data that was usually stable has now become inconsistent. Ducati's racing rhythm has become inconsistent. In some practice sessions, the GP25 has appeared difficult to control in fast corners. This has sparked an internal debate. Is Ducati's current superiority due to their technology or to Marc Marquez's ingenuity and aggressiveness on the track? Meanwhile, Aprilia has capitalised on the momentum with great intelligence. The Knoll-based team arrived at Phillip Island with ambition and innovation. They introduced a new aerodynamic package for the RSGP, the product of months of hard work in the wind tunnel. This package has proven highly effective on windy tracks like Phillip Island, making the bike more stable during fast corners and providing extra traction in the circuit's long corners. With the manufacturer's full support and the winning mentality that Valentino Rossi instilled in Marco Bezzecchi, Aprilia's performance has soared. The results are clear. Aprilia is not just a challenger anymore. It's a new threat that is starting to disturb Ducati's dominance at the top of MotoGP. Bezzecchi's victory in Australia wasn't just about speed. He broke the Phillip Island lap record with an incredible time of 1 minute, 26.492 seconds, beating Jorge Martin's previous record. However, Bezzecchi entered the race in less than ideal condition. He was still serving a double long lap penalty for his incident with Marquez at Mandalika. Nevertheless, he maintained his composure and turned the situation around to finish the race victorious. The Aprilia boss praised Bezzecchi's composure and the teamwork behind the scenes. "We didn't win because of luck. We won because of hard work and confidence. We knew where to be strong and when to attack," said the Aprilia team boss after the race. In the Ducati camp, the result was met with mixed feelings. They recognised Bezzecchi's brilliance and Aprilia's nearly flawless performance. But on the other hand, there was a hint of cynicism and subtle suspicion linking the victory to the shadow of the legendary Valentino Rossi. Gigi Dall'Igna reportedly feels uneasy about the fact that two of Rossi's former protégés, Bezzecchi and Francesco Bagnaia, are now on opposite sides of the competitive landscape, one symbolising Aprilia's resurgence and the other leading a struggling Ducati. This situation has created an emotional dilemma within the team, as if Rossi's legacy lives on at opposite ends of the track. It's hard not to see a similar pattern. When Rossi founded VR46, he developed riders and instilled a racing mindset that now permeates the entire grid. That philosophy flows from riding style, communication with technicians, and even the way we read races, said one of Ducati's technical directors, half jokingly but meaningfully. Ironically, that philosophy has now become a weapon against us. Some team members are beginning to question the indirect influence that Rossi has had on the young Italian rider's evolution. Is this mere coincidence, or is there a network of ideas slowly changing the MotoGP power map? Amid these questions, Ducati can only stare at the data screens, trying to convince themselves that their red domination is not truly over. Marc Marquez's absence from two crucial races and Aprilia's resurgence are stark warnings for Ducati. Their over-reliance on a single rider makes them appear vulnerable, especially when things don't go according to plan. Performance data shows a significant decline in average speed and race pace stability since Marquez's absence. Gigi Dall'Igna now faces the daunting task of balancing the team's performance without their star rider and ensuring that Pecco Bagnaia can handle the mounting pressure. The technical decisions and strategies moving forward will be a real test of his leadership. Meanwhile, Aprilia is enjoying a gold moment. Marco Bezzecchi and Raul Fernandez's success not only delivered historic wins, but also instilled new confidence within the Noali team. They are no longer mere challengers, but a serious threat to Ducati's dominance in the second half of the season. Amidst all this, one name is being mentioned again in the paddock: Valentino Rossi. Although he is retired, his influence lives on in the hands of his students on the racetrack and in the hearts of his increasingly anxious rivals. Is Ducati ready for the rise of the Rossi legacy generation, even though the maestro himself only smiles from afar? Leave your thoughts below